Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome to another video. So for today's video, you can already tell by the title, I'm gonna be telling you guys how to manifest and how I've manifested things into my life and how it all works, because I have gotten a few questions on it. So this is just my personal tips and tricks. This is what I've learned from reading books, watching a movie, and just from my experience. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it and not ramble on. Okay, so I just wanted to start off by saying that you're manifesting constantly. Every single thought that you have, you're manifesting. If you keep thinking negative things, then you're attracting negative things. If you are always thinking positive things, you're gonna keep attracting positivity. Just imagine yourself like a fridge, and then magnets are coming to you. There's positive magnets and there's negative magnets. And if you put yourself on the frequency of positive magnets, then you're only gonna be able to attract those because they're gonna match the type of metal that you have on your fridge. So just think of it that way. You always have to be so conscious of what you're thinking every single day. And that's why I found that it's just so important. If I ever have a negative thought about something, I quickly change that in my brain to make it a positive thought so that I'm not attracting more negativity. And the universe will test you, it will, and it almost purposely will send negative things your way to test you. You have to bulldoze through those tests and really just switch on that positive flick in your mind in order to attract and manifest positive things. So just to start off, just know that you're constantly manifesting and creating your future every single second, because we're always thinking. So first tip that I have for you guys is getting rid of your negative subconscious beliefs. If you guys don't know what a subconscious belief is, it's basically a belief in the part of your brain that you don't really know it's there. You're not really conscious of thinking that because it's happening in your subconscious mind. You can search up more about it, but that's just a brief explanation. For example, if you were a kid and in your household, your parents always said, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to work hard for your money. Money will only come to you if you work X amount of hours a week. You have to do this, you have to do that. And then that made this subconscious belief that money is hard to come by and you need to work very hard for your money. Without you knowing, that formed a belief in your subconscious mind that carries on to your adulthood if you don't be careful about it. To get rid of your subconscious beliefs, you need to reprogram your mind. Reprogram your mind into the notion that you create your reality and you're in charge of everything that happens to you. So if you think in your mind, money is hard to come by and you can't get money easily, then that's going to be your reality. What a good exercise to do is to get rid of your subconscious beliefs is just kind of take a pen and a paper and write down can I attain money easily? And if the answer is no to that, you realize that you have that subconscious belief that's maybe blocking your manifestations. And if you're honest with yourself, you can see and connect the dots that everything you're thinking is an exact vibrational match to what is happening to you in reality. It's like if you get a speeding ticket, let's say, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have such bad luck, I got a speeding ticket, and you're telling yourself you have bad luck. Therefore, you're gonna keep getting more bad luck. You're gonna get another speeding ticket because that's all you're focusing on and that's all you're thinking about. So that's what you're going to be attracting is bad luck. Obviously, bad things can happen to you like that, just shitty things in general, but you have to catch when that happens and think to yourself, why did that happen to me? What was I thinking throughout these past weeks? Catch yourself the next time you have a negative thought and just try and get rid of it or turn it into something positive. So in order to attract positive things and in order to reprogram your mind, you have to be honest with yourself with what you're actually thinking and how you view things in your reality. In order to experience something different in your reality, you have to change that up here. Okay, so now that we got our limiting beliefs pushed to the side, we got rid of those, a fresh blank mind, you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Be honest with yourself, even if it's so dramatic and so out there. Be honest with yourself, do you want that? You can have anything you want, but it's our mind and limiting beliefs that are stopping us from having those things because we think that we can't actually have them. You can do anything. It's your mind that's your mental roadblock. So a good tip for this, a good little exercise, is to kind of manifest a tiny thing in your day. Tomorrow, let's say to the universe and be like, I want to attract the number 72, or I want to attract a cup of coffee to me. And you gotta believe that it's going to happen. So if you say, oh, I want to attract a cup of coffee, but in your head you're thinking, oh, that's never gonna happen, then it's never gonna happen. You have to believe that you're going to attract it. So do this little exercise, okay? Put it out, something that you want to attract that you mentally believe it's going to happen. So let's say if you go to a coffee shop every single day and you're working at a coffee shop, think to yourself like someone is going to buy me a cup of coffee today randomly. Believe that it will happen. So the important part to manifesting is realizing that to manifest something like a cup of coffee is just as easy as it is to manifest 100 cups of coffee. $1 is as easy as $1 million, but the difference between the 1 cup of coffee and the 100 cups of coffee and the $1 and the $1 million is that you probably won't believe that you can attract that much money, that you can attract that many cups of coffee. You don't believe that can happen, because if I say to you, oh, someone's going to buy you 100 coffees, you'd be like, there's no way that's ever going to happen. You thinking that means that it's not going to happen, because that's the law of attraction. If you don't think it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. But if you believe it's going to happen, it will happen. You can be like, I can find $1 easily on the floor. Like, that's easy. That's so easy to do. Versus $1 million, you can't just find $1 million on the floor. Therefore, we don't believe it. And that is the whole point. You have to realize that attracting a tiny ass thing like $1 is just as easy as attracting $1 million, but you just have to believe it. You just have to know that it's going to happen, and you will be able to attract it. So the next tip that I have for you guys is not forcing your manifestations. If you're forcing something in general, you don't like it, because if you're forcing something on yourself, you're not willing to do it. So if you're trying to attract money in your life, don't go and get 12 jobs, 12 different jobs, because you don't want to get those 12 jobs, and you're just not going to feel good about that because you're forcing that on yourself. You have to do things in a positive manner. So take inspired action on things instead of taking forceful action. So if you want to manifest money into your life, and let's say you've always wanted to be a writer and you always had a dream of writing a book, maybe start writing that book. As you're writing that book, just imagine that book getting huge and selling millions of copies around the world. Since it's not forceful, since you're willing to do it, your brain is wanting to attract it. You are attracting it maybe without even knowing, versus getting those 12 jobs that you're gonna hate your life because you're going to work every single day of the week. So that's what kind of taking inspired action means. You got to do what feels right and let your intuition guide you on that. So that's why it's like easier to manifest things that mean less to us, because if you're manifesting money and you really need money, you're becoming attached to the outcome, and you're not letting the energy just flow. You're becoming attached and obsessed with the outcome. So that's why it may be harder to manifest the money that you want versus a cup of coffee that you're not even thinking about. Money can only come through you, or your manifestations can only come through you when you're not worried. Because when you're worried, your brain is going to negative places. Therefore, you're not attracting anything positive. You're not actually attracting it because you're worried about it. If you're desperate for money and you're anxious and worried about it every single day, you're not going to attract it because you're worried and anxious about it. That's not positive attraction. That's not positively attracting anything. It's not going to bring you money. If anything, that's going to make you lose money. The hardest part is actually believing it, and that might take time, and obviously that goes along with reprogramming your subconscious beliefs, but it will come. So next point is you have to realize why you want something. Do you want money to make you feel less worried? Do you want money to make you feel more happy, to be more free in your life? Now, this is how it works. The law of attraction isn't about what you specifically want, but it's what you become a vibrational match to. So if I'm thinking to myself, I want $1 million so that I can be free, I can be happy. If I'm not those things already without the $1 million, then I'm not a vibrational match to that $1 million, because I'm still in a vibrational match that's lacking. So I'm going to be only attracting what I'm a vibrational match to. This is like a really good example that I found in a book. So if you're listening to a pop radio station, you can't tune in to country music when you're on a pop radio station. To get to that country music, you got to change that frequency. You got to change the channel. So if you want to attract money because it's going to make you feel free, it's going to make you happier and less worried, you have to become happier. You have to become free, so that the money is just going to come after that, because you're a vibrational match to it. And that can be really, really difficult. Obviously, why you can't just snap your fingers and manifest anything. It's a whole lifestyle change. So if you want to be a famous singer, you have to act like a famous singer. You have to become the famous singer before you're a famous singer. I was listening to this podcast with Bretman Rock, and he was saying how he manifested becoming a famous YouTuber, because when he was younger, he said he always acted famous. He said he would walk into a store like he owned the store, like he was already famous. He would dress like he was famous. He took on the vibration of being famous and wealthy. He said once he became famous and wealthy, it was like nothing changed, because he already felt as if he was famous and wealthy, because he already had tuned that radio station to what he wanted to be. But you have to just live it out like it's already happening. It'll happen without you even knowing because you're already feeling those emotions. So let's say you want to manifest more money. Start writing out a list of things that you would be if you had that money, and slowly start to integrate those things into your everyday life and become that person that has that $1 million already. What would you be doing differently in your everyday life? Picture yourself having $1 million and think to yourself, what would I be doing differently in your everyday life if you had that $1 million? And do it. Implement it into your life. You have to start to feel like you actually have it already. You have to feel it. You have to become it. And if you can't do that right away, you can start with just sitting down for 10 minutes a day, whatever you can last for. And what I like to do is I used to put on like music and just sit silently, because music really helps me manifest and feel the things that I want to attract, just because I get in a really good state and flow. So just literally, if you have troubles with becoming it, just start little by little every day and sit down, maybe put some music on and envision your life with those things you want to manifest and feel into it. If you want a luxury Lamborghini, close your eyes and feel what it would be like to be in that Lamborghini, how happy you would be to have it, and feel those emotions. And you're going to be soon vibrating those emotions every single day. The most important part, I can't stress this enough, is to feel it. Feel it like you already have it, because that is going to change your vibration. Just thinking something is not going to necessarily change your vibration unless you're putting that feeling into those thoughts, because if you're worrying about money, you're getting anxious and you're feeling that worry. Once you put it out into the universe, it's already on its way to you. When you buy a package online, you don't go check the tracking thing like 5 times a day, because you know you ordered it and you know that the package is on the way to you. So you got to have that mindset, as well as feeling into it, is that you can't stress about it. If you ordered something, you know it's coming. They told you it's going to be delivering. So you don't need to go and check that tracking. You don't. You got to know and believe it's coming to you. Don't stress about it, because that's going to completely destroy what you're trying to manifest. Ask, believe, and receive are the 3 steps. You got to live by that. So I know all this information might seem super overwhelming, and I know you may be thinking that's too hard. I can never do that. But you can. You just have to have the right mindset, and you need to reprogram your subconscious beliefs, and you can do anything. We're all so powerful and we don't even realize it. We only use 5%, I think it is, of our brains. We only use 5%. We're smart ass human beings. You guys start taking the right steps in the right direction. You can do it. Don't expect your mindset to change overnight, because that's nearly impossible, because we're so programmed. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, just do a little test run. Do a little test run. It's kind of cool seeing those little test runs happen, because you're like, oh shit. I can't remember every single example that happened to me when I first discovered manifesting, but there has been some crazy shit that has happened that I was mind blown about, that I really want you guys to experience as well, because it's just so magical. So I'm gonna just give you guys a couple of suggestions of what to watch. So there's this movie on Netflix that's called The Secret, and that's what first got me into manifesting, and I highly suggest that you guys watch it, because it explains everything. I mean, it doesn't go very in depth, but it really could get you motivated and pumped up. So I really suggest that you guys watch that. Also, if you guys want to take it a step further, there's this book called Ask and It Is Given, and it's all about the law of attraction. It explains how everything vibrational, energetic works, and give it a read, because it's just so informative. But I would suggest watching the movie first, because that just gets your foot in the door, and then if you guys want to go further, to read that book, because it goes so much more in depth. Like what I talked about, there's a whole book on it, and it's just such interesting stuff. And it's so crazy that at the end of the day, our whole universe, we're just all energy, and it just makes sense. Like it's scientifically proven that everything is energy, and the law of attraction is scientifically proven. So yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I just want you guys to live your best, happiest life and attract everything lovely into your lives, and you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. See you guys in my next one. Peace out.